Hey guys, I'm back again after yesterday's Thanksgiving, which was glorious. Lots of food, lots of company. But anyway, on to the main point of this video. Today I just sort of wanted to talk a little bit about what I believe to be the source of feminism, or where I believe the source of feminism originates from today. And I think today's feminism is mostly displayed through the media. And what I mean by that is, if you look at television, you'll see tons of commercial ads, you'll see tons of sitcoms, TV shows, all sorts of displays, even the news. And I think this has an effect on mostly our youth, particularly our kids' youth generation. And I say this because, when a kid's forced born into the world, or birthed into the world, he's pretty much born into a state of liberty, a state of curiosity, and overall just a state of liberty, yeah. And as they go through this matrix and they're exposed to things like television, that's where your manginas, your white knights, your simps, and your gold diggers are born. Here's what I mean. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the Disney favorites growing up. Things like Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Jungle Book, Little Mermaid, things of those nature. I'm not a huge fan of Disney, so I may not be an expert in knowing all of them. I didn't watch Disney much as a kid. Just didn't faze to me. But anyway, I think these types of movies and these types of programming on television have an adverse effect on our youth and the mindset of our youth. And because of most of these sitcoms usually center around, most of the Disney movies, from what I remember, center around a prince and a princess. It always displays the prince as being a substantiate servant, or a servant towards the princess. And when the female children watch this, they get the impression that they should have a Prince Charming themselves in reality. And these are where gold diggers come in. And these gold diggers roll with that special someone later in life. Why? Because they have these resources, and because they have money. And when they have these resources and they have money, they feel more inclined to hang around them because they feel secure and they feel like they have a protector. And this was shown through many sitcoms. I'm pretty sure you've seen this through sitcoms like Good Luck Charlie, Shake It Up, That's So Raven, Ned's Declassified. And again, I didn't watch many sitcoms either, but those are just a few of my examples. iCarly, things like that. And when the youth looks at this, that's what they imitate as they go through time. And when they get out in the dating world, based on what they saw in their youth, their young youth, this is what they thrive off of, and that's what they will imitate. And, for example, if a boy watches these types of sitcoms and these types of Disney movies, he'll get the impression that as long as he is kind and respectful towards women or females, they'll be kind and respectful to him. See, the man is still under the influence of the traditional male role, being a protector, being a provider, and basically submitting to women, trying to find means to suit them. However, thanks to feminism in the media, the opposite happens for the female child. And instead of being, submissive and basically, respectful towards the man, through sitcoms where the man is made to look as a fool and a simpleton who needs or constantly needs female guidance, they believe they are superior to men. They believe they are above men. And when they get out into the real world, this is what they thrive off of. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this, because the man still has the traditional path and role laid out for him, but the same doesn't happen for the woman. I mentioned this in some of my earlier videos where the man is always told not to hit a woman, but there's never anything out there to tell the woman not to hit the man, and this upsets the balance of the relationship, or the balance of the gender dynamics, and this has an effect. That's why you've got men opting out, and that's why now you've got men finally waking up to this, and they understand, I'm playing with fire at this point. And gynocentrism has now basically influenced the justice system and the court system, and because of that, men realize the odds are all against them. So, why bother playing the game when your chances of winning this game is virtually zero? There's no version of this where you come out on top. So, this inspires the man to go his own way. And then, before you know it, you have a decentralized, undercover, silent ghost nation of MGTOW. And this all goes back to the roots of the media and television and sitcoms. And I'm not saying these Disney movies are bad, or that, we should just boycott them altogether. Who knows, maybe we should. But the point is, we should really think about the messages that this media is giving to our youth generation, especially our children, male and female children, because they're watching this and getting the wrong message. Men, or male children, are watching this and thinking that happiness has to be with a woman, and it has to be with one. There's no other way, And really, the message that these male children should get is that happiness comes from within, and you can make yourself happy. No matter what happens, you are always in control of your happiness. But they're not really getting that message. They're getting the message that their happiness is dependent upon who they're with and what kind of relationship they're in. In other words, they're not really taught to be independent thinkers. They're taught to be reliant on that special someone, when in today's case, that's not the case at all. And this is where that blue pill matrix comes in, because that is the blue pill matrix, being essentially taught that your happiness can only be there if you have a female, a special someone in your life. And, of course, red pillars who've escaped that blue matrix know that isn't true by far, in a long shot. But I think we should really be weary about these types of things, because in the future, it's only going to be more self-evident. And for any of the fellow MGTOW out there, though this gynocentric society has its grips, that doesn't mean we can't still at least analyze what's going on around us, what has been going on around us, and how we should act accordingly to that. And I think one of the biggest ways to really gain or obtain a liberated mind, if you will, is unhook the cable box. Television, stop watching it. That's just my thoughts from a MGTOW perspective. I don't watch television anymore. I used to, but, television now is just getting so watered down and decaying that it just didn't faze to me. I've stopped watching it. I haven't watched television in the past year or so, and I have a much more liberated mind in my thought, As for the news, most have the internet access these days, Wi-Fi and all that jazz. There's other ways and alternatives to find out what's going on besides just television, people. And the best part about that is with the internet, you can always choose what you'll want to take in. And it's in writing, so you can read it up and formulate your own thoughts rather than being sucked into this blue pill matrix and listening to broadcasters who will persuade an audience through words. So, my advice to any MGTOW out there, or at least from my own MGTOW perspective, I would drop television. Just drop it. Especially the news. The news, I think, is incredibly biased. Disney movies and sitcoms are incredibly gynocentric, and that is taking an effect on this generation of youth now and the generations of youth to come. So, stay strong, gentlemen. If you do watch the news, try to steer clear. Don't let those broadcasters persuade you or, brainwash you into a mindset. Think liberated, be liberated, live liberated. Be a man going his own way and remain a man going his own way if you already are. And I say that to all men. So, yeah, I think we should really be wary and watch out for these types of commercials and television shows and sitcoms that we see or that people see on a daily basis. I, from a MGTOW perspective, would try to limit myself to what I see. I, like I said, don't watch television anymore, and I probably won't unless cartoons get, higher qualities, because that's really, as a kid, that's what I watched mostly, cartoons. And, cartoons today are nowhere near as good as they used to be. So, there was really no reason for me to watch television anymore. But anyway, I'm digressing. Point is, gentlemen, ignore these sitcoms, elude them, avoid them like the plague, and stay liberated. Think liberated and live liberated. Avoid the blue pill matrix. It's toxic. It's toxic to you. It's toxic to the future generations, and it's toxic to this youth generation right now. So steer clear. Be liberated, be an individual, go your own way. Later.